Guys, happy Tuesday yet again. I'm home from holiday, so I'm finally able to do some videos. This time I have Daniel Beretta here. He is so cute. So he is the one that Wendy made for me. He is a custom. I wanted him to be a twin to Danielle. So she is the Greta kit by Andrea Arcello, and he is a Phoenix kit by Andrea Arcello. And I know that they both have pretty similar arms, like and hands, like how they are. She has a closed fist as well, and the open one. And they both have chubby legs too. But look at the detail that Wendy has. So amazing. I love her work. And I love how she has some splotches too. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Oh, Daniel, you're so cute. So, I am coming on right now to do a tag, a summer tag, by Canadian Reborn Mama1, and that is Caroline. Hi Caroline, I'm finally able to do this video. I know I've seen yours, I think a week ago, and I did comment on it, so I'm finally able to get to it. So I'll try not to shake the camera so much. So, but there are two questions, although my number one answer is quite long. It said, what is your earliest summer memory? I remember a lot of my summers being, like both my parents are from southern Ontario, and I know I mentioned that I don't know my biological mother, but when I talk about my mom, it's just about the mom who's been in my life since I was an infant. So even though technically she is my stepmom, I never ever think of her like that. She is my mom. But anyways, we spent all our summers all the time back home in Ontario, and they're both from the same small town, which is very close to well, it's 2 hours south east of Toronto, so it's very close to Niagara Falls, kind of another maybe an hour and a half away from Niagara Falls. But if you cross the lakes, like they're along one of the lakes, and if you cross it, you'll be in the U.S. So it's actually a small town called Deseronto, and is right beside Napanee, which is another small place. Where else is the next common place? Kingston, I guess, is the closest place. Biggest place is Kingston, I guess, or Belleville. Have you heard of that? Anyway, because most people never heard of Deseronto. But anyways, what's my earliest summer memory? I do remember riding a tricycle on my grandmother's deck, and it was actually a porch, and it was the only place that had wooden planks. She did have a sidewalk, but they didn't want me near the cement, and I wasn't strong enough to push the pedals to go on the grass, so I went on the porch. And I remember going in circles and circles and circles and thinking, oh, I wish this was bigger. This is kind of boring. All I'm doing is going in circles and circles. What else can I do? Nothing. Anyway, that's just the oven going off for supper. I'll get it right away. I think I was really young. I have really lots of memories from when I was like 3 and up. So yeah, and I love when Grandma and both my grandmas, my dad's mom and my mom's mom, had the laundry out on the line, and they always had white lace, like tablecloths or sheets, or like the clothes too. I was kind of bored with the clothes, but I love looking at the sheets swaying in the wind or the tablecloths. It was really relaxing to me. And yeah, I love that. I love smelling how the lawn smells in the hot sun, and the wildflowers around and the field grass. They didn't live on a farm or anything, but they lived in a very small town and on the outskirts of town. So, like my grandma, my dad's mom had a chicken coop, but by the time that I remember the chicken coop was just a shed. But that's just an example of what they had on her property. And my other grandma, she was actually living in town, but they were actually well off because they owned a car wash and a dry cleaners place. So the family business was very good. My mom was raised in a home where they had a nanny and a maid. So they always told me that they had their biggest meal at lunch, and they had like soup and sandwiches for the supper. And I thought that was kind of different. But Mom said that their nanny was okay. I really have to get that. I'll be back. Oh, okay, I'm back. And but I forget what I was saying. I do remember though being at both my grandmothers, being very young. And I remember the weather there, is so humid and so hot. And most of the time we spent time at my grandma's, my dad's mom, and she never had air conditioning. But yeah, so I remember eating for supper. All that we'd have is like fresh vegetables from the garden, like cucumber, tomatoes. And everything was raw. Nothing was cooked. She would go buy some luncheon ham meat and maybe bologna or any other, like salami, pepperoni, and just have like a meat tray kind of thing. So she'd have pickles and cheese and salads and pasta salads. So everything was not warm food. It was always cold food that we ate. And I remember it was a favorite of mine because it was so rare that we could eat like crackers and cheese for supper. But it was really fun. And she also had a pool, lake, or ocean. Which do you prefer and why? Well, I grew up at a lake, and it's called Clearwater Lake. And it's one of 3 clearest lakes in the world because it's actually a giant spring water. So I was kind of, what's the word? Spoiled with that. Because if I go to a lake that was like green or something underneath, I used to hate that because I loved opening up my eyes underwater. So I do enjoy pools. I actually like the smell of chlorine. I'm just so weird like that. But I do like the smell of chlorine. I thought it was very different, and I liked it actually. So I didn't mind swimming in the pool. The only thing is that you can tell if pool water is dirty. It just feels different to me. Like with a true lake, like our Clearwater Lake, with like it's so clear you can open up your eyes and see for hundreds of feet away. So it was pretty cool. And honestly, I've never seen the ocean. I've never been to the ocean. I've never set foot into the ocean. I've heard stories about the ocean, but I've never experienced it. And lakes, also our lake is very, very cold. So it only warms up if it's like really windy out and it stirs up the dirt from underneath or the sand from underneath. That's the only time it's warm. Other than that, it's cold. Like all year. Like all summer, I mean. Well, most of the year is frozen. But, yeah. So I guess I'll go. Caroline, thank you for this fun tag. It was fun to do. I felt like I was just rambling and my voice sounds kind of odd, but I wanted to show you Daniel again. I took his pants off and his little socks off, and I want to take this off so because this long sleeve, he just looks so warm in this. But I'll do that later on. So yeah, he's so sweet. I love him so much. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I enjoyed the other videos I've seen with this summer tag. It was really a lot of fun to do. So until next time, guys, take care. Love you. Bye.